What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 6. I am Rio Santana. Later on will be JC Santana, my father. Welcome to IHP. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a decent weekend, I guess. All right, went to the Panthers game Saturday. All excited for that. And the Panthers looked great until we didn't. Okay, we got our asses slapped by New York. And then Sunday comes around and I'm ready for my 1 o'clock showdown for the Steelers, Arizona, in Pitt. And we look like Boca High. We look like my high school team. Okay, I don't know what the hell was going on. Our defense came in ready to freaking kill somebody. And we're over here playing with 2 left feet. All right? Arizona put 24 up on us like it was nothing. And we damn near escaped with 10. All right? And on top of that, Kenny's hurt. So he's out for 2 to 4 weeks now. And, yeah, I don't know how the end of the season is going to be looking. We do have the Pats this Thursday, and I better be getting a phone call to try out for a quarterback or something because I don't know if Mitch is going to do the job. But, hey, best of luck. Let's see you Thursday. Anyways, we got a cool episode coming up. A lot of cool announcements. We will be reflecting what happened this past weekend with UFC. Man, what about that knockout from Armen? One leg up in the air with, I think it was a right hand, and put Darush on his ass. That kid is going to be a problem. I know he fought Islam a couple years ago. The kid was like 19, 20 years old, and they went the distance. And now, with him being a mature young man, it's going to be a problem. I would love to see that rematch. Not now, but maybe sometime next year, summertime, or even this time next year if the kid keeps it up. He was ranked number 4. Darush was he was ranked number 8. Darush was ranked number 4, so now he'll skip a bunch of people, maybe end up in that 3 to 5 column, and maybe one fight away from a title contender fight. So that was pretty cool to see. Bobby Green, I love Bobby Green. I love Turner too. Turner's won me some money, okay? And he put Bobby's lights out. That was a very, very rough ending to watch. I'm not saying the ref should be fired or anything, but we got to do a better job protecting our fighters. I mean, I think it was 19 to 18 unanswered punches. My dad's going to be going over more details with that. But it was a good fight night, man. A lot of these, I can't tell you the last time we had a bad card. I really, really can't. And on top of that, we got a badass one coming up December 16th with Leon and Colby. I'm super excited for that one. I think that's actually going to be one of the best cards 2023 has put on. I know a couple weeks ago we just had another banger. I think all finishes. So this one's going to be tough to match up. But if there's anybody that could put on a show, it's Leon and Colby. And I can't wait for the press conference because that shit's going to be going back and forth, back and forth. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the episode, guys. See you in a little bit.
What's up, everybody? This is JC Santana coming to you from the Institute of Human Performance, bringing you the Santana Podcast with my boy Rio. All right, we had a great UFC this weekend. We had a fight night. And, sometimes people think that the fight nights don't deliver. Some fight nights really deliver. This is one of them. We had 4 finishes in the top 6 fights in that main card. Incredible. We had a lot of fun. We met some people at the house, and it was a good weekend. Sometimes the UFC brings friends together, and that's one of the best things about any sporting event. It brings people together, all right? If that's the excuse we need, beautiful. Let's get it. UFC. Here we go. We're going to start from the bottom. Okay, and we're going to go through like the top four big ones. Sean Brady and Kevin Gastelum. Kevin Gastelum is number 11 at 185. He drops down to 170 and gets mauled by Sean Brady, who is number 9. Man, let me tell you, look, we teach here different things, especially from that back position. And it's almost like Sean Brady trained out of here. He had what we call a mandible crush, which is this pressure a lot of times is sideways. Jeff Munson, we trained him with that against Fujita. Also had a mandible crush, but he had it this way and he was squeezing here. But anyways, you can apply, if you go like this and you push your mandibles, you will feel it giving in. The mandible, the bottom jawbone is very, very pliable, and it'll bend and it'll break. So Gastelum had that neck turned, the head turned, and chin into I believe was the elbow. And then you can apply so much pressure on that mandible that, trust me, this person will turn right in. It can be applied here, chin towards the wrist, and it can be applied here, chin towards the elbow. But you apply that squeeze so much where the person's fear of getting their lower mandible broken is such where they give you the choke like Fujita gave Jeff Bunson, or in this case, Gaston turns right into the forearm and boom, secures the choke. So we always say there's 5 targets when you have somebody from the back. First one is the eye. Orbital socket is very sharp here. You can squeeze somebody into a cut. Then you have the nose. Then you have the mouth. You can impale teeth right through the mouthpiece. Then you have the mandible. And finally, you have the choke. So, Sean Brady, congrats to you. You got that mandible crush. You gave him that IHP squeeze, although you don't train here. My brother, kudos to you. All right, then we have Davison Figueroa against Rob Font. Rob Font is number 8 at 135. Figueroa is coming up from 125, and he's had some fights down there, man. So he comes up. He looks sharp as shit. I think this is a much better weight class for him, that 135. I heard from my friends in Brazil that 125 cut for Figueroa was hellacious. And sometimes these people, yeah, they're huge for their weight, but they come in weak because there's no way you can replenish that ass beating that you take when you're dropping, when you're dropping from 145, 143 to 125 in 36 hours, in 40 hours. Man, what that does to the kidneys, what that does to your organs, you can't replenish just with water. So a lot of times it's better to go up to the next division and train and fight strong than fight big but weak. And this is what happened. And man, we saw Figueroa just put it to him. Decision, unanimous decision, 29, 29-30, 29-28 on all cards. 29-28 on cards, 10 out of 10, bang, beautiful. Jalen Turner, Bobby Green, I like Bobby Green's attitude. I don't like the whole get-up, but I like his attitude. And Jalen, God, I was that kind of fighter, wrestler, judo player. I was always the stocky, strong one. Not that Bobby Green is stocky and strong. It's just that Jalen is just like, the Tommy Hearns of the day. And I used to train with Duran back in the day, and Duran was like, 5'7", 5'8", and Hearns was like 6'1" at 147. And when you fight those guys, and I was always those guys fighting people that I'm 5'9", 69-inch reach, and I'm fighting guys who are 6'1", real thin. If I could get them, I'd lock them in place. But getting them, you got to pass through that San Francisco bridge, bro. You got to get through that shit. And Jalen was just throwing bombs at him, catches 2 of them over the top, over the left side. It's a little bit behind the ear, but you know what? It's happening at lightning pace. Nobody's going to call that a headshot, back of the headshot. It both land behind the ear, up high, but it's legal. It's the tomahawk. On both sides of the tomahawk is legal. So, anywho, puts them down. And then here's what we come in. There was about 18 or 19 punches. I would say a quarter of them missed the mark altogether, missed the mark. I would say another quarter, maybe a few more got blocked, okay? But I would say that Rio and I counted, the last three landed. The referee was coming in on the last one. Don't know if he caught it there on time. Rio and I looked at this before the podcast just to make sure that we were on the case, because everybody's like, the referee should have stopped it. Okay, if we're counting unanswered shots, then yes, he should have counted, because he threw 19 punches unanswered. Some of them missed, but Bobby Green is doing nothing to get out of there. He kind of turtles up and moves this, that, but he's flapping. There's no intelligent defense. So let's put it this way. There's, let's say, 18 shots without intelligence defend, without the fighter at the bottom intelligently defending himself. So right off the bat, you have a problem with that. He should have been calling, I'm going to stop it, I'm going to stop it, I'm going to stop it. Jalen lands one big one, and you see Bobby Green go limp. So that's the first one. That's the first headshot. Bang. Then he lands a second one, and then the third one is coming. The referee is coming in. Not sure, because it was blurry. Not sure if he landed it or not, but let's say that 3 landed with 2, the referee's coming in. Well, 2 shots landed, referee's making a move. That's not too bad. 2 shots, boom, boom, because remember, it's happening. So, I'm coming in. And that third one, but you made a move after 2 shots. Okay, not too bad. After 2 shots, not too bad. You're making a move. Because remember, it takes time for you to see, realize what you see, and act. All right? But it's the 15 shots that came before that become an issue. So we got to get, I think, a little tighter. Man, I would say 7 or 8 shots that are not answered, you know, and let's say that half of them don't land, but they're not answered, I'm hollering, I'm screaming. You got to move from the bottom or I'm going to stop it. You got to move or I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it, boom. If the referee does that, you never get to the first shot. If the referee does that. If 4 or 5 shots in, you start saying, because remember, the shots are coming in. You start saying, by the time number 10 rolls around, it's done. And if none of them really got you, the fighter at the bottom just walks away. In the case of this, he got hit with one that put him out and with one that was solid. Shots like that can change your life, you know. So anywho, it's a dangerous sport. I'm not going to blame the referee to the level of where I see most people he should be fired. No, but we should have some kind of, in referee training, some kind of rules as a rule of thumb. Hey guys, at number 4, number 5. Unanswered shots, especially if the person is in a vulnerable position, say bottom, face down, you know. If they're turtling up, as soon as they go down at number 4 or 5, call it. At number 5, okay, you start threatening. You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop. You're gonna stop. If they don't land a real shot at number 10 or 12, you should be stopping it. Period. And it doesn't get to this because that first shot was at number 15. So if we could do that and training the refs and establishing some guidelines, I think we can prevent this from happening. I don't know if that's being done or not, but it would be worthwhile for the UFC to do something that you know, in that regard. But anyways, and the last one, Arman Tsarukyan versus Beneil Dariush. Holy shit. You know, Beneil's, he's becoming really a gatekeeper, solid fighter. But, you know, Beneil is what? Beneil, I don't even know where he's ranked in that 170, but I know that Tsarukyan is a fucking beast. About 5 fights ago, he fought Islam, and they went to a decision. Okay, and this guy was a baby, like 23 years old back then. I don't even know in these last 5 or 6 fights that he's had. The amount of improvement is insane. I'm not so sure if he fights Islam now, Islam's going to have a problem. Now, Islam is a beast, and he's shown that he can step up. But Armen is a monster. It's a different type of powerful. It's a powerful that you don't train, you don't develop. That shit, you're born with that shit. He not only wrestles, when he throws punches, man, it's with a different intention. And if he hits you, it's night time.
Armen was ranked number 8. Dariush was 4.
Dariush was 4. Armen was ranked number 8. So we'll see today or tomorrow where the rankings go. But either way, they're going to have to sit with Armen. Whoever's at the top 1 or 2, they're going to have to come to the table with Armen. And you better come ready, man. You better come ready. Islam, I love you. You're awesome, but you better come ready because this boy is for real. For real. So we had a great UFC night. Congratulations to all of those guys that finished out of the top 6 fights. And we had a great time. Now we're coming up on the next UFC, which is going to be very exciting for us. And that segment that's going to cover that is brought to you by FHE. FHE. FHE is the premier mental health and drug abuse program down here in South Florida. It's a facility that's insane down Federal Highway, about 10 minutes south of here. They own facilities on both sides of US 1, which is Federal Highway, both sides. They have like a little mini city there. They have inpatient facilities of different sorts. They have the neuro program, which actually is imagine an IV for your brain. but it's through waves. Insane, insane. Dr. Dogris has done an incredible job with that technology, and it's exclusively at FHE. So if you know of anybody that's in a little bit of trouble, having just PTSD type of shit, drugs, things like that, or you, hey man, check out FHE. They will take care of you. They'll put you on the right path. We just did a presentation for their Shatterproof program, and I just love going to Shatterproof because it deals with, imagine, it deals with military, law enforcement, and first responders. 3 people I love because it's 3 people that do the job that nobody wants to do. And currently, it's 3 areas of society or 3 different branches of law enforcement and first responders that's getting absolutely shit on, all right, by politics. And I hate that. I hate when the police gets shit on. And let me tell you, I know there's some asshole police officers, fine. There's some assholes personal trainers, asshole fighters, asshole coaches, asshole medical doctors, and plenty of asshole politicians. Bottom line is most police officers are there to do the job. Most first responders are there to do the job. Most military, and when I say most, I'm talking about 90, I would say 95%, there to do the job because they want to help society. And I hate when the politics don't support them. So we at IHP here support them, and that's why I donate my time to FHE, and that's why I love FHE being involved in our combat program and sponsoring all our combat athletes, because it's a beautiful relationship for a beautiful cause. So check FHE out. Now, what's happening this Saturday? Our boy Daniel Marcos got short notice. You know that he made weight in Brazil. His guy did make weight. They decided not to take the fight, which I didn't approve of, but fine, that happened. Great, no problem. And then this past Saturday, 8 days out, actually 2 weeks out, we started negotiating new fights. And then boom, all of a sudden we have one, we have another, yeah. No, both guys had visa problems, nothing. Friday, 3 days ago, okay, we get a contract for a short notice fight this coming Saturday. So he's got 8 weeks. The beautiful thing is that Lamont...
8 days. 8 days.
8 days, yeah. What did I say?
8 weeks.
Okay, 8 days. So we have 8 days notice, and his agent, Lamont, got him a great situation. We got him a catch weight at 140, so he doesn't have to drop at 136. We got him a guy that's fresh off of Fury, so he has no UFC experience. And let me tell you, you know how it is. Well, you've heard how it is. When you get under the lights and it's the big show, jitters can happen. Fury is not the same thing as UFC. When you see the lights, when you see the cameras, when you see all the production, that can get you nervous. So we are in a great fight. It's like God put a light on Daniel to finish the year correct. We're going to make some money. I think Daniel takes this guy out. Why? Because this guy is a submission and decision guy. He doesn't pose a KO threat, although everybody knows that when you're in the UFC, any UFC fighter can touch you and you're out. So we're not discounting that this guy can throw a bomb and catch Daniel. But if you look at the stats and you look at the paper, okay, we feel very good about this opponent. So we got lucky. We're going to fight this Saturday, baby. So Danny did the work. Now, they say, so what do you do when you have 2 weeks notice? Well, I trained him 3 days, all last week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Okay, so what can you do? Are you going to increase VO2, lactate threshold, blah, 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 muscle fiber, or, constitution and all that? No, you're not going to do any of that. So what do you need to do for a fighter who's got 2 weeks notice, 1 week worth of training, the other week is traveling and weight cut? What are you going to do? You do the same thing. You do the same thing that you did if you had 8 weeks. So what is it that we do? Well, yes, we train them, but what are we accomplishing with the training? What is the end result? The end result of the training. It's not muscle fiber, changing muscle fiber constitution. It's not increasing VO2. It's not lactate threat. It's nothing. What is it? In the simplest form is 100% that the training is making him Superman. And that when you're done with the training and you give him you're ready to go, he can go and face God if he needed to. Okay? That's the job. So what's my job with 3 days of training? Same thing. I got to show Daniel that he is in the same shape that he was in Brazil a month ago, almost to the day a month ago. How do I do that? I hit him with some of his PRs. I hit him with some of the circuits. I hit him with some of the feeling that he had and give him the ability to show himself that he can overcome the challenge of asphyxiation, of suffocation, that he can relax the face when the shit gets really tight, that he can do 5.5 minute rounds with 1 minute rest. And you know what? The numbers are slightly off. Why? Because you can't get into a peak, then come back down and get that to that peak in 2 weeks. You just can't do it. It takes time for the mind to charge and charge and charge and charge and charge and charge. There's a lot of things that go on. The adrenals have to squirt out the right amount of adrenaline and leave the right amount out so your parasympathetic can kick in and you can sleep at night. So the abuse, if you will, the training, the challenge has to increment enough where the person can get used to adrenalizing himself enough, withstand a certain level of discomfort, pain, if you will, okay? Know that the recovery is not enough, but he could go again and pace himself for 5.5 minutes. We don't want to go 8 rounds. We want to go 3 rounds. So there's a lot of things that are psychological, hormonal, and neurochemical that go on that you can't do this with, that you got to go there. But in a month, you don't lose a whole lot. So through that experience and through showing him the numbers, I'm able to convince him and show him that he is at about 95%. His body's at 100%, but the mind, the induction of electrical signals, the neurotransmitters, the adrenaline, all of that is about at 95. I said, you were at the best shape of your life, November the 4th. You were at 95% of that. You are in better shape than the camp previous, at your best. So you know what that means? You are at your best right now. You're at your best. There's no way this guy with 8 days notice, because this guy just got told Friday and Saturday we signed the contracts. So this guy's coming in on a week's notice. There's no way he's stimulated and neurologically potentiated to your level. It's impossible. It's impossible. All right, so he's ready to go. The catch weight at 140, he's at 150 already. So it'll be an easy weight cut for him. So we're feeling really good. But I just wanted to give you that so you guys understand that the training that IHP is doing is not what people think. It's not what MMA coaches think. It's not what MMA trainers think. It's not what they think. They think we're strength and conditioning coaches. Yeah, we do that, but that's the least that we do. We understand the psychology of combat. We understand the neurophysiology of excitation, which is combat. Okay, we understand the biochemical, the play of epinephrine, norepinephrine, and your ability to continue to secrete that and uptake that. That's shit that's never talked about in the strength and conditioning world. We not only talk about it, we understand it, and we know how to use it, and we know how to explain it. That's what sets our shit apart. That's why I tell you, the coaching that we do, when we put it all together and we educate our trainers, we educate our fighters, it's a different thing. It's a different thing. It's coaching, if you want to put one word. It's not training. The training is the easy part. The coaching is what allows us to create the right training progression and explain what's happening and what they're feeling in a meaningful way so they go, and they get it. And that's why the fighters that fight out of IHP love IHP and will kill for IHP, because they're educated in that. They become much more sophisticated fighters. They become more sophisticated people, because in order to understand the sequencing and what we're saying, although we're speaking in simple terms, we're speaking about kind of complicated stuff. And they have to sequence what they're uptaking and understand it to buy into it. So that's what we're doing. We're very happy for Danny Marcos. I anticipate a second round finish. That's what I think. Anywho, so we got Daniel Marcos, December the 9th. We have Mark Andre, January the 20th. And Mark Andre is going up against Chris Curtis. All right? Chris Curtis. And like I said, we love Chris Curtis, but we got some surprises for him. So if he doesn't catch us with one of his bombs, he's going to have a lot of problems. Then we have Gregory Rodriguez, February the 10th, against his old foe, foe in terms of let's plan it, let's do it, let's that, cancel this, that, Brad Tavares. I love Brad. Great guy. Pretty intelligent dude. He's not doing all the sparring that he used to do and everything. There was a video of him, I think, on Instagram about that. So we love his approach. We love his cool nature, just like we love Chris Curtis. But you know what? Come those days, man, we're coming after you. We're coming after you awful bad. So, and then Jacqueline Amorin is on March the 2nd. So we got some great fights coming up. We're going to be very busy in December, January, February, and now March. And here comes the rest of the people. All right, now we get to the we listen. We listen to you. There's a lot of questions. Actually, we ran out of questions in terms of questions we could answer. We have about 2 or 3 more in the pipe, and we'll answer those next time around. So let's get to the we listen questions. All right. What do I think about the specific adductors, abductor exercises for general population, for some sports-specific context? Time is short, so, do we make space for them or just focus on the big bang exercises? Unless there's a specific reason to do AB adduction for functional purposes, where you're doing lateral reaching lunges, you're using AB adductor, because then they never work by themselves. Okay, adductors work with hamstrings. The abductors work with the external rotators, which is the butt. So when you're doing lateral reaching lunges on the trailing leg, you're working adductors. When you're doing lateral reaching lunges on the outside leg, okay, trailing leg, adductors, outside legs, abductors. Let's see what else. When you're doing skaters, when you're doing anything like that, and plus when you're doing loop, you're doing abductors all the time. So all the lateral walks that we do with loops, all of those, the hip thrust with loops on, all those are abductors. Me, I'm a big bang guy. I'm like, get them into squats, get them into split squats, get them into lunges, get them into single leg presses, and whatever it is. We see a lot of adductors get lit up in deconditioned people with squats. So what does that tell you? Do the big movements, and if the adductors are an issue or the abductors are an issue, they'll show up. Then if you want to do some extra little AB adduction exercises just to bring them into play, fine. But once they're brought in, I work on big stuff, big specific stuff. So I'm not huge on isolating, although we do a lot of loop work, lateral walks, AB adduction on a bench, hip thrust with the loops on, and so on and so forth. And what are my top supplements and why? Top supplements. Number 1, oils, fish oils. That's number 1. Number 2 would be a D3 with a K2. K2 for moving the attaching and moving the D3, transporting the D3. I also like zinc, and if you really want to be a badass, do zinc with quercetin, because zinc goes into cells and will kill a lot of bad shit, a lot of viruses. For example, zinc kills the spike protein in COVID. The only problem is it's got to get into the cell, and you need something called an ionophore. That's the way it's spelled, ionophore. And what that does is it opens up a channel and brings the zinc in through the channel. So if you want to do zinc and quercetin combination, quercetin is an antioxidant that's awesome. So you got D3 with K2, you have zinc with quercetin, you have omegas, fish oils. So those are the basics. If you want to weight gain or if you want to do something healthy for the brain, creatine for sure. Bam. So those are there. If you want to gain some weight, if you want to do some performance, and if you want a healthy brain type of stuff, creatine. All right. Then that's just the supplementation. Now, as you know, I'm doing some IVs, and I can tell you the IVs I'm doing are insane. I just got some news yesterday that I'm not upset about. It's just that I'm kind of pissed, I've been eating clean, semi-vegan. Ground chicken is about all I have that's not vegan. I've even gone more non-dairy. I do eat some very little cheese, this, that, but I don't do yogurts. I don't do cottage cheese. I don't do milk. I don't do dairy products in that regard. And I'm doing 4-6 hours of cardio. I'm doing 4.5 hours of weight training. I know my shirts are fitting like tight as shit up here. Pants are the same, but my thighs, I started doing legs, so my thighs are big. They're taking off. But man, I weighed 223 the other day with clothes fully hydrated, so I figure I was like in the teens, 19, 20, you know? Fucking I weighed yesterday naked after a bike ride. I didn't sweat too much because it was in the evening, but bike ride, and I weighed 228. Holy shit. I'm going, what the fuck? 227 and a half. I weighed again. I called my wife. I go, look at this shit. 227 and a half. So I was on the phone with my functional medicine girl today, Marcela, which is awesome. And she says, I'm not worried. I said, I'm not worried about it, but something's happening because I've been doing IVs of B's mineral blend, B blend, between 10 and 20 grams of C, your standard banana bag, and glutathione, 1,000 push. I've been doing that every week now. Every other week, I already hydrated with NAD for 5 sessions, 250, 250, 500, 500, 500. So I'm already saturated with NAD. So now I'm going on NAD 500 every 2 weeks. So I'm doing those IVs. Now, I'm telling you right now, and I think I'm drinking more protein than ever, but I'm not doing 200 grams a day. I'm probably doing $150, $160 a day. And this is what I'm doing. I'm doing the collagen formula, all right, from Dr. Axe. I am doing the Vega. Okay, this is my This has a little bit of carbs, and I'm doing my Orgain. All right, this has about 17 grams of carbs. It's a little bit more, so this is my post. All non-animal protein, clean. So I am doing 2, maybe 3 of those a day. So I'm getting, I don't know, 100. Let's figure 150, 160 grams of protein. It's not 200 or 300. But I think these IVs or something has increased protein synthesis because I'm getting pumps of the kind of pumps that you get when you're 30 years old, 20 years old. I mean, I do 2 sets and my arms, my chest, my shoulders just get swollen and you go like this and it's hard, So fuck, I don't know what it is. Oh, I'm going to tighten up on that diet because that 227 and a half just hurt me, pissed me off. But those are the things that I'm doing, and those are the supplements that I go by. The supplements, the basics, I told you, fish oils, D and K, zinc and quercetin, and creatine. I'm not on creatine, But the IVs, I'm a strong believer. And I'm also on MOTS-C peptide. So I don't know what it is of all that shit. I can tell you that ever since I started the IVs and shortly thereafter started the peptide work, my shit has changed. I've grown to the point where I've grown too much for my own comfort, And here's the deal. I've missed 2 small doses of testosterone. I'm on the lowest testosterone now. And I'm huge. So I've gone from 200 mLs a week to 100, mLs every 8 days. And now for 2 straight weeks, I missed one of them. So I'm going 50 and 50. So basically I've done 100 mLs in a month. That's what I was doing in a week and half of the normal dose. So I'm basically not doing testosterone and I'm feeling great on all levels, on anything that testosterone affects, from size to, sexual performance to recovery, all that shit that testosterone does. I'm fucking A1 and I'm not doing any. So now I'm looking at possibly going on something like Clomid to kick the testicles back up. I don't even know if they need to be kicked back up, and see if I can get off testosterone. Who knows? So I'm telling you, I'm going through college right now in terms of my supplementation. Okay, third question. Why did you come up with the octagon? And would you change anything in it? Well, the octagon, I came in as a biomechanical model to explain movement and exercises. To tell you the truth, it's a very interesting model, biomechanical models. I wrote 2 articles in the NSCA journal with them. One of them was with Stuart McGill, and the other one I wrote on my own. And to explain the Serape effect, to train the Serape effect. So it became this beautiful biomechanical model, and I wouldn't change it, except that it's become too much. I don't even, as I go more into coaching, as I go more into creative exercise application, not exercise design. You don't have to get stupid with it. You know, you can get creative, but not stupid with it. We don't need to be doing fucking agility ladders under the water or in sand at the beach and shit. You don't need to be fighting under the water and all the shit that I'm seeing. None of that. No, 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 no. You need to just get simple exercises with bands and stuff. Show that you know where the force vector is, come up with cool applications, and then be able to explain them to the fighters where it gets them excited. They're able to be in the octagon. They go, God damn it, this feels just like wrestling. That to me is the best thing that I hear when they tell me this feels exactly what it feels like when I'm up against the cage, you know? Then I know I've made the connection. That's the connection. That's the important thing of training. It's not the exercise. It's the connection that you can get your athlete to make with the final goal, with the event. Because what happens is, it's not training. It's not strength and conditioning. No, it's practice. Resisted practice. Resisted practice. Resisted practice. Okay? So resisted practice is like a wet dream. Nobody was there, but shit happened. Exactly. Your opponent is not there. You're not getting beat up. You're not, doing crazy shit, but you're there. But you're there, and you're able to practice, and you get better at it. So anyways, that's where we're at with that. And what are the AI pros and cons? Look, don't be afraid of AI. If you're afraid of AI, it's because what you're offering can be done by a machine. What can't be done by a machine? What can't be done? AI is no different than computer programs that have been made to figure out nutrition. Now you can punch in words and come up with calories, grams. We used to have to do that by hand. So now you can go list your nutrition, list your meals, and it'll come up with a total, vitamins, grams of protein, grams of carbs, grams of fat, saturated fat, whatever the hell you want. Blah, 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 blah. That used to be done by humans. Okay, it's now done by machines. Did it kill? Why? Because what can't be done by machines? Human interaction can't be done by machines. Okay? Using experience, not past data, past numbers, machine can grab. Past experiences that interpret present reality, that no machine can do. No machine can train you like JC, like Rio, like you. No machine can do that. No machine can be you. If it's numbers, the machines can regenerate that. But creativity experiences, and all of our past experiences are different. So there's no goddamn AI that's going to teach you how to train according to IHP. That's going to teach you how to coach according to IHP. That's going to teach you new exercises according to IHP. AI can't. How's AI going to teach you a new exercise? How the fuck is it going to do that? It can't. Why? Because it doesn't know what you already know. It doesn't know what you've gone through in the past. It doesn't know how to calculate what you've gone through in the past that has worked with the present information you have and integrate that into something new. AI can't do that. AI can't do that, so don't be afraid. Pros of AI, it can spit out fucking numbers. It can spit out words. It can spit out history. Anything that's been typed, it can spit out. But it can't interpret what's been written with your history to create a new bit of information. It can't do that. So I love AI. I'm doing an app right now. We're going to use AI. We're already using AI. We're going to bang AI very heavy for next year into that app. But pretty soon they'll be able to do what you do with an AI. No, they won't. No, they won't. Go to any AI. Hey, according to Juan Carlos Santana, write a power program for a fighter that's blah, 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 blah. Go ahead, see if it does that. It might attempt to do that. You may get some shit, but it's going to be that shit. It ain't going to be what I'm going to come up with. So don't be afraid of AI. Use AI the same way you have used your phone, same way you've used your laptop, same way you've used your car. Okay? The car can take you there, but not if it doesn't know where it's going. It doesn't know where it's going. Okay, it knows where something is on a map, but only you, through your experience and what you've talked to your father, know if a road is free or not. Know if a road has an end or not. Okay? So even GPS is wrong because it's every 3 months it's updated. Doesn't know the latest shit. So when they close a road, oh, GPS didn't know this. Oh, well, wait a minute. It's getting better, but my point is know machine will ever be able to know your past, okay? Use your past with current information to synthesize a brand new solution. No machine will do that. All right, so don't be afraid of it. All right, this is JC wrapping it up. Now I'm sending you to my best half, my boy Rio.
All right, guys, just as always, JC delivers. Hope you guys enjoyed that last little segment that he brought, bringing some heat in. Like I told you, man, we got some big announcements. We got a big December. We got Daniel fighting this weekend. We got January 20th, Mark Andre. We got February 10th, we got Gregory. And we got March 2nd, we got Jackie fighting. So the next 120 days, 90 days is going to be busy here. And I'm pretty sure from there in early 2024, we'll have some other guys fighting PFL, Bellator, UFC, and maybe some local matches as well, too. So we're already starting off 2024 with a banger, and we're ending 2023 with a big banger this Saturday. Wishing Daniel the best of luck. The guy always brings it. The guy always fights like a freaking dog, so I'm pretty sure maybe a bonus will be in line. All right, guys, don't want to waste too much of your time. Please leave a like, leave a comment, share it with a friend or so. The podcast is doing so well. I'm super, super, super excited. And again, I'm just thankful for you guys supporting the movement. We got a lot of cool things cooking up in the next couple of weeks, so I'm pretty sure that some of it will be brought onto the podcast. And remember, yes, 2024, we will start bringing on guests. So have a great week. Hopefully my Steelers should get a win on Thursday. Put me in a good mood for next week's podcast. All right, love you guys. See you next week.